Today, I'm going to teach you 7 travel idioms in just 5 minutes. If you don't know me already, hi, I'm Izzy from English with Izzy, and I'm a Cambridge B2 First and C1 Advanced exam teacher. The idea of teaching you these 7 expressions is to help you get just a little bit closer to learning advanced English and to passing your exam. So if the examiner asks you anything about traveling or holidays in the speaking exam, or if in the writing part you have to write a review on somewhere you visited, then you can use one of these idioms to really demonstrate an advanced level of English. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's jump right into our 7 expressions. Also, before we begin, I'm going to be asking you some questions throughout so you can really practice these expressions in the comment section. Let's do this. Alright, advanced idiom number 1 is to travel on a shoestring budget. If you travel on a shoestring, it means to travel on either a really low budget or with a very little amount of money. Imagine your laces or the strings on your shoes. Normally they're not very long. So that implies that you don't have much to spend while you're away. In England, for example, when you finish school and before you go to university, it's really common to take a year to travel or to work. So during that year, lots of people will travel on a shoestring budget because they haven't started working and they don't have a lot of money. Another example is one summer, about 5 years ago, I cycled from Spain to England and I didn't have a lot of money to do so. When I cycled for 4 weeks, I traveled on a shoestring budget. Idiom number 2 is to go off the beaten track. Now this one might be a little bit more obvious, but if you go or you travel off the beaten track, it means that you go to places where there are not many people or not many tourists. So literally where the track or the road looks almost untouched. So although lots of people like to go to overcrowded places like Rome or London, there are also many others who prefer not to go to those places and prefer somewhere more relaxing off the beaten track. Another example is city trips are great fun, but sometimes it's a lot more relaxing to go somewhere off the beaten track where you're not going to run into a lot of people. Idiom number 3 is to travel light. And this is one of my personal favorites because I absolutely hate lugging loads of baggage around with me. Now, to travel light literally means to travel with not many belongings on you. So if you're the kind of person who goes on holiday with just a rucksack or a backpack, as they say in the US, then that's an example of traveling light. For me personally, traveling light is a lot less stressful than lugging around a huge suitcase with me throughout the city. Idiom number 4 is a stone's throw. Now, although some people can throw a stone really far, normally when you throw a stone, it doesn't actually get that far, right? So, as the idiom suggests, if something is a stone's throw away or a stone's throw from somewhere else, it means that it's not very far in distance whatsoever. So an example of this idiom in the context of travel or holidays is I prefer or I like to stay at hotels that are just a stone's throw from the city center. So they're nice and close. If you go to the reception at your hotel, you might ask them where the restaurant is and they might say it's just a stone's throw from the hotel. Nice and close. Alright, we're powering through these idioms today, and idiom number 5 refers to your orientation, and the idiom is either to find or to lose your bearings. Now, because I tend to get lost really easily, I'm going to give examples of lose your bearings. And if you lose your bearings, it means to not know exactly where you are or where you're going. So to be a bit lost in terms of where you are or where you're going. For example, some people always lose their bearings when they travel, like me. However, other people always find their bearings really quickly in new places, meaning they have a great sense of direction. And my question for you today is, are you the kind of person who loses their bearings very easily or who finds their bearings when they travel to a new place? I feel like we're going to have a real mix of personalities in the comments, so let me know below. Idiom number 6, which is our second to last idiom today, is to have the travel bug or to get the travel bug. Now, you may or may not know already that if you have a bug or have a stomach bug, it implies that you have like a virus in your tummy. You're not feeling very well. So if you get the travel bug, it literally means you have this infectious desire, serious desire to go traveling. So for example, if I don't go somewhere, if I don't travel even for a weekend for about 3 months, then I get the travel bug, meaning I really want to go somewhere and I cannot contain my desire to travel. The last time I had the travel bug was in June because I hadn't left my home in months. I had been working. So because I had the travel bug, I traveled home to Oxford for a few months. Then I went to Alicante with my friends, and now I'm here in the US for another holiday. So I'm trying to cure the travel bug that I got in June. And the very last advanced idiom that we're going to learn today is as the crow flies. Now a crow is a black bird, and normally these birds fly in a straight line. So when we say as the crow flies, we literally just mean in a straight line. So if someone is asking you for directions, instead of using more simple English and saying just follow the road or go straight ahead, you can say follow the road as the crow flies. My final example today is right now we are doing Route 66. And although it's really fun and we're seeing lots of new places, most of the day we are just driving as the crow flies for kilometers and kilometers on end, which means in a straight line. There's not much turning, there are not many roundabouts. We are just driving as the crow flies. Now, as you guys know, this was just a really speedy video because as you can see, I'm in the car on holiday, but I didn't want to break my promise and not upload a video on Monday today. So I hope you liked the video. Now, if any of these idioms are new for you, don't forget to pop them into your English notebook, because the best way to really store them into your long-term memory is by taking note and revising them regularly. Anyway, this video is coming to an end, so don't forget to like this video, to show me some loving, to subscribe, and if you want some more advanced lessons with me every week, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you're the first person that sees these videos when they come out. My final challenge for you today is to write just one example sentence using one of these idioms that you did not know before this video, and I will correct you in the comments if there are any mistakes. This is your chance to practice with me. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Don't forget to stay curious and stay learning.